Hey, David, we are recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to point out, just in case anybody missed it, Chelsea has bongs right behind her.
It is not. They're wine bottles. They're empty wine bottles.
They all.
There's that kind of show.
I have severe
Joe Rogan
asthma.
effect.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, I understand it's a wine bottle, but why did you have to put that inner tube in the top of it?
Oh,
Is that a hookah pipe?
No, that's a decorate. It's a thing now. I swear.
So we had to push this meeting back like 30 minutes because Rob was doing old people things. Had a dinner. They were celebrating actually quarantine being lifted. So I'm told, right? They were just
Nice.
There was somebody there with Corona. Is that correct? Is that a fact?
The family, who we've all been, just like you guys, because I know you guys have all been observing this quarantine. We also observed the quarantine and had not been to a restaurant in 7 weeks. And so the first day available, my in-laws said, why don't we go to Jalapeno Tree? So we went to Jalapeno Tree, and just like people unafraid of the COVID, ate our food, and it was great. And so I'm glad we got back out there, supported the businesses. So yeah.
So restaurants are open today.
Yeah, like
That's not a lie.
Everything's back up.
Everything is open.
Some have decided to just stay carry out still, right? Like, from what I've seen. Some on the phone have decided to stay carry out, but I think majority of everybody's like, cool. But then they can only have like 25% capacity. But yeah, just side note, just for like historical record, this is the first day of quarantine lifted here in Texas.
This is the
After
first day.
months.
Ben and I went out earlier, and there was traffic in Magnolia, and there's never traffic in Magnolia.
If you don't know where Magnolia is, there's one red light and a McDonald's.
And there was
That's all any city needs, really.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But
okay, so everybody, so that was really our first topic, was just kind of everybody giving their opinion on how they think this is going to go. So this is my opinion. This is what I think. I think that everybody that wasn't already like, kind of being sheltered, like completely, like completely worried about it or anything, is going to go back to like completely normal lives. And I think that the people that were like probably scared of it in a sense are going to take a while before they like get back to normal. I don't think that they're going to be going out or anything like that. But I think there's going to be two completely opposite sides of people that like one, whatever, normal like this never happened, like day one. And then the other, like, still very timid, like, towards things.
it
I will
just
say
kinda
this.
depends on where you're at.
Yeah, for sure.
There is a giant game of kickball going on at my junior high right now as we're talking. So that's the kind of consensus
May
right
1st,
now.
baby. May 1st.
I mean,
People have been waiting.
Seriously.
I don't know, that like we were just talking about that. It's like everybody that was freaking out, and like today it's like that.
Well, yeah. So
Weird, man.
So Ben works at like a country club, and today they had a shoot come in, and this guy was like, "So why are y'all taking all these precautions? It's May 1st, like." And they were like,
It's May 1st. Don't you know the virus is gone? It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it did yesterday. Like, it's over. The 30 days of mourning are done. We're okay now. Like, it was so funny. They were like, what?
Literally, that is exactly what it's like. Yeah, like all this is over. We don't need masks and stuff like that. What?
We're good now.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Before we do anything else, though, let me show y'all my T-shirt. It is the only undefeated XFL team in history, baby. Next up, I had to bust it out for this. I've been talking about it for a while, and this is my opening day Houston Roughnecks T-shirt. Only undefeated team in the history of the XFL.
Everyone touch your neck. Okay.
How many games did they play?
5.
Like 5. But we won all of them. We're batting at
that. Yeah. 5-0, baby. 5-0.
I didn't win 5 games in my entire career, but that's a fact.
I sat there and watched all of them. It's true.
won half of the season. That could never have happened. I don't know what that's like. What's winning again? I really haven't been there.
Seriously, the Battle of Piney Woods this year, I finally got to sit on Sam's side. It was nice to win for once.
Yeah. For anybody that doesn't really understand, Chelsea, turn the camera around a little bit there. Benjamin played at Sam Houston. Benjamin played at Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Well, garbage. But they whooped our ass all the time. So 5 years in a row.
Much longer than 5, my friend.
Well, I've experienced it for a whole lot longer than I have, actually. But me and Rob experienced it for 5 years together.
Ben said this year will be 10 if y'all get one this year.
I didn't know criminals could count that high. So everybody saw the NFL draft, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really good. I thought it went really well.
It definitely made the best out of that situation.
I thought it was smooth. The only thing that I would have said was like after I know they always kind of push off the other rounds outside of the first round, but outside of the first round there was like super delay in who it was, and obviously there you could tell that there was like a very little amount of information on anybody that was outside of the first round. You could tell they focused hard on the first round, which they should, but having the cameras in the second round, having the cameras in their houses and things like that. Also, there was definitely a whole lot more than like 6 or 10 people, because the NFL sent out a thing that you couldn't have more than like 6 people or 10 people or whatever, like with you at the time of all this, because they had the cameras and they wanted to be respectful to everybody, and that was cool. But there was definitely like houses where they had like probably 30 or 40 people, and they were all hiding from the camera. It was great.
The only thing I saw of the draft was this video of a guy answering the call, and his girlfriend had like
he's from Foster High School, I'm pretty sure. That's like basically in my backyard.
That's all I saw about the draft, and I died. Do y'all even know what the story was? Did you ever read what it was?
No, I don't really know it, but that mama was not happy that she was up in that shot. She was not happy at all. David, do you know the story? Like, did you read it?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. It was CeeDee Lamb. I'm pretty sure he went to. I'm pretty sure he went to somewhere near me. Yeah.
Hopefully in Dallas.
Yep. He went to Foster. So like we play them sometimes. He's cold. And so he got drafted by the Cowboys, and then like his girl took his phone, and then he snatched it back from her, stared her down, and then the mom stared her down too. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
That was a good one. And then there was the other one where the mom like pulled. Okay, so I was actually thinking of a different one, but the CeeDee Lamb one was hilarious. But the other one
was so funny.
The other one was where the mom like pulled the girl out of the shot. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, she was like, listen, honey, you're not going to be here too much longer. Get out of the shot. Like, that was what it was like. I was like, whoa.
No.
It was rough.
That is tough.
That's tough.
Trust issues, man. When your bat phone will, you got your bat phone on you, and just when you think it's safe to let your hand loose, nope, never safe like that.
They always come in with rubber snap.
Don't act like you ever needed a bat phone, Chris. No one's calling the first one. The Roughnecks are calling the first one, but
let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Never mind.
Chris, we're so hurt.
Brought to you by Nestle.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. What was this message here? I would like to verbatim read this message that Rob wrote in our group message right before this. We put in the topics in the group message, and Rob responded, quote unquote, "Can there be a permanent category of bagging on Chris? It can be sponsored by a tea company, like Nestle's tea bagging on Chris."
So Nestle, if you heard it, it's already kind of done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're giving you some free publicity.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Honestly, it hurt, but I laughed hard.
Anything for content, man.
Yeah, we're driving content here, fellas.
Gotta get the clicks.
Everybody wants to pick on me all the time. Anyway, hey, Rob, I did want like your full opinion on like how the production was of the draft.
Yeah, I was shocked that it even went off. Like, honestly, you're talking about so many things could have gone wrong, and they were able to get it done. I did see though that at least when it came to some of the teams, whenever they would sort of show an angle, you could tell there was at least like a 30-second delay. So they they must have had something going on with the production so that they were able to like deal with all the lag or whatnot. But they did a great job, and I was stunned that they were even able to pull something like that off.
Yeah, it's basically like having a draft over Zoom. I was waiting for them to just throw everybody like on a Zoom call and just have them all in here and be like, in the first pick is Joe Burrow, and then he just like moved up to the top.
It becomes bigger.
Like, yeah, he just like became bigger on the screen, and I was gonna be like, oh yeah, that's exactly.
That would've been sick.
What if they had just put like 64 people up on a Zoom call, so like it was all these little tiny squares, but then after you got drafted, your square went away until like the last sad who's like hasn't been drafted is taking up the whole
it's like
screen.
when you're picking dodgeball teams and like the poor kids with asthma get picked last, you know. And it's
Chelsea's actually speaking from personal experience there.
Yeah, that's true. I'm the asthmatic kid. But Christopher's also the one that doesn't get picked for a team, so it's okay.
Jeez,
Dude, I gotta go, man. Like, that's
Oh my gosh.
okay, this is a good one. All right. So the NCAA approved athletes to be able to be compensated through endorsement deals.
Now, this is something that we talked about earlier.
We had the likeness rights stuff before they got approved. This is an add-on to that. And I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I'm not the huge fan of the endorsement deal of it. I get the business side of it. I absolutely understand it, and I absolutely think that it's a big move for not only the NCAA but businesses themselves to be able to promote through college athletes, because you got to understand a lot of people love college athletics and don't love football or NFL football, and they're going to be able to reach a whole new market. But I feel like it's like you start bringing endorsements and pay and everything like that into college football. It's not really amateur athletics anymore, obviously, in that regards. And AJ Brown actually made a good comment. Not that AJ, you know, Rob, AJ that plays for the Titans. When I was there, he made a good comment about it, and he said there's no love for the game anymore at the college level. Like, kids aren't going to be playing for love of the game anymore. It turns into a job in college. Like, college is supposed to be where you're playing for love of the game, and then you're getting a job out of it, right? Because that's kind of what the college scene is meant for, right? This, and then you go get a job with it. It's the same setup, right? You know, so I don't really love the whole
because I feel like college also just expects a lot of their athletes. It kind of is their job. They can't have it. Like, I feel like they need to be reimbursed for that work that they put in.
That was what the original setting was for. Now we're talking about endorsements, though. This is another level.
Okay, you're going to have to explain because I don't get what that means.
There's a breakdown, right? So, like, it was likeness rights and, like, them allowed to make money from themselves, like doing a YouTube channel or, like, promoting themselves, right? Mm-hmm. Now you're talking about, like, literally, like, Bud Light being able to come in to Baker Mayfield and, like, give him a bunch of money and promote while he was still at Oklahoma, and he could essentially do a shotgun on top of the frat house and they go Sooners, and while he was a senior in college.
Okay, let me throw some things out here, Chris, that because we talk about this a lot, and I've got an opinion on how I don't even think this is going to end up being that big of a deal. I think from the NCAA's perspective, there's a lot of great optics that come from this. They can say we're making huge strides, we're doing this, we're doing that, but the reality is if you're going to try and sponsor a kid in college at a major university that already has conflicting sponsorships, it's going to be more challenging than anyone wants to think. So, for instance, let's say you're at Alabama, and Alabama as a university is sponsored by Nike. It's not like all of a sudden, Tua is going to be able to go out and start repping Under Armour because that's going to be in conflict with the University of Alabama. He's not going to be able to just start repping Pepsi if Coke has the sponsorship for the whole university. So what we're going to discover through this is that it's a lot more complicated, the world of sponsorships, than anyone ever, because of conflict. And it's like every university has like one overarching like food sponsor, whether it's Coca-Cola, whether it's Pepsi, something to that effect. And individual small sponsorships, like let's say a car dealership. So like let's say a car dealership a local car dealership in Tuscaloosa wants to sponsor somebody. If there's a competing car dealership already sponsoring the university as a whole, some lawyer is going to get involved and say, like, Tua, we can't do this. And so at the athlete level, you're going to come below the university, below the athletic department, probably below the coach and his sponsorships, to scrape up whatever minimal sponsorships are left. I think we're going to discover that the world, from a legal perspective, is a lot more complicated than just saying, hey, everybody, do whatever you want.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is going to create a lot of complexity. But I don't know how they're. I don't know how they're going to handle that at all. I have no idea. Because you're absolutely right.
I feel like it's going to affect recruiting a lot too, because kids aren't going to want to go where they have the best chance to play. They're going to go where they're going to get the most media attention, or where they're going to get the best sponsorship deals, because they could be making six figures as a freshman. Like as an 18-year-old, they could be making six figures from a Coca-Cola or different types of branding. And I just feel like it's going to change the game for a lot of people. And you might see people like that would want to play basketball or baseball switch over to football because they can make more money there in college. And I think it's definitely going to change things.
It is Coca-Cola that sponsors the university, and then they go get the kid, and then they pay him a bunch of money. Then it is in that situation,
So what you're basically talking about is like pass-through money, So like Duke sponsored by Nike. And now Nike, to help entice recruits, is going to say, okay, Mike Krzyzewski, we're going to sponsor you. We're going to sponsor the whole university. And we're going to tell every recruit you sign that we'll do an individual campaign for them, throw a bunch of money their way. So basically you're talking about pass-through dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big game changer, especially for the universities that are just basically unlimited piggy banks, and they're looking for ways to spend this money. Yeah. And for the first time ever, you could just essentially just dole it out to each kid, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting to see how that totally unfolds. I mean, who knows where that's going to go. But anyway, unemployment. Okay, so hold on. I got to clear the air here. I got to get this out. Chelsea calls me earlier. Chelsea FaceTimes me earlier today, and I'm like, why are you FaceTiming? I was kind of busy, but really paying attention. And then she FaceTimed me, and she's like, clear as day. She's like, usually when I FaceTime her, she's like dead, like in bed, like showing me like.
It's true.
But she FaceTimed me, and she's like, yo, guess how much I got from unemployment? I just want everybody to know Chelsea made more than me from unemployment this month than I made this month.
I'm not gonna. I mean, it's true. I lost my jobs because of COVID, so I run to unemployment immediately, and I've been waiting for a month, for 4 weeks now, for an answer on if I'm accepted, if I'll receive benefits, all this stuff. And today I got the big news, and I was excited, but I could not believe that there are essential workers still making their minimum wage right now, or like $2 plus, and I'm getting paid what I'm getting paid from unemployment for sitting at home.
I literally don't know what to comment on this, but other than there's obviously a flaw in the system, but at the same time,
I mean, it may help people who
are
with families and have children.
Yeah.
But they should have been a little more selective. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm excited.
I'll take it, but
I'll take it. But I mean, seriously, like I'm one person, so maybe because it's like an extra $600 onto every week. Like under the CARES Act, you get whatever you already apply, like what you already
disclosing how much she actually. I'm just letting everybody know that it was enough to where she's not going to say.
Is it? But it's not going to last forever. Like once this thing's over.
I mean,
this for like 6 months, 8 months. Right?
So under the CARES Act, unemployment can go up to 39 weeks, if necessary. It's
what am I working for?
Guys, don't look.
I gotta get fired. I gotta
I'm telling you, it's so bad.
Chelsea is making more than a former NFL bust and a full-time employed individual. We're in the wrong industry. David, don't go into either of these fields. Okay? Don't try to get football.
I'm telling you,
go and educate yourself. Just try to get on this crisis COVID unemployment, because
I'm just gonna play Call of Duty and collect the checks.
Seriously, I feel guilty. That's how much money they're giving me. I feel guilty.
That's
You know what?
That's
You can
bullshit.
alleviate that guilt very quickly by giving that money back.
I told Christopher when he comes over, we can rent any movie on Amazon Prime that he wants.
Yeah, I will be coming to see Chelsea tomorrow, and she told me that the bill for the Amazon Prime movie was on her. I'll keep you updated.
It's on the government, actually, but
Uncle Sam, thank you.
Puka on Chelsea this week.
I told her she could pay me back for all the times I threw her a little money.
I
She
will
was
say
like, oh, she was
Christopher,
like, oh, like what? Like $50? I was like,
Christopher's bought some of my textbooks with his almost NFL money. You know, back when, but you know, I got you. No worries. No, I'm getting NFL money. So.
actually, whoa. From the numbers that Chelsea gave me today, I want everybody to know I didn't make a bunch of money in the NFL or anything. I got a little signing bonus kind of cool little thing, kind of thing. You know, that was it. Okay, just for all clarity, Chelsea made more than I made from that.
Guys, it's sad.
That's upsetting. That is upsetting.
It's. I was shocked. Like, I had to reread it a million times, and I immediately called Christopher and was like, I don't know what to do. I think I did something wrong, and I broke this system because they're wiring way too much money into my account right now. But what sucks is that people are still working right now and not getting that.
Yeah, that's where we were going with this, is that people are still working, and Chelsea's over here sitting in bed getting paid millions of dollars. Like,
Hey, not for long. Not when your millions of viewers end up seeing this.
that's true.
Right.
I'm going to quit. I'm not going to be able to go to health anymore. Just when the economy opens again, Chelsea, you ruin it for everybody.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like texting my friends, like, get fired.
Hey,
Get fired right now.
I do want to point out, I'm going to throw Chelsea under the bus. Chelsea is like 10 grand upside down in her current car. Next subject.
What, you own a Tesla?
No, but it's close. A 2020 Corolla.
I want everyone to hear this story, actually. So Chelsea was, trying to switch out her cars or whatever, right?
No, I had an 88 Buick. I want to make it very clear. I was driving an 88 Buick.
Wait. Let me get to my point. Chelsea was trying to switch out her Corolla that she's got, all right? She was living in 2020 and 2018. That's how new the car was, okay? So she's trying to, she's like, I could save a little bit of money if I got out of this car and got a new car, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Well, like, I'm, I handle purchasing for cousin's car lot, and so I'm like, okay, cool. Let me help you out. And I look at it, and there's an amount, and I'm like, whoa, okay, like obviously somebody is not the brightest tool in the show, right? Okay, like obviously something is messed up here. The next week, all right, I purchased David's dad's Maserati for the same price, his 2016 Maserati, for the same price that Chelsea owes on the Corolla.
On my 2020 Corolla. Listen, I was 20 years old walking in a Toyota. Like, I know I ain't got credit, but I got cash.
If that doesn't make everyone cringe, that's pretty rough.
It's bad. Learn from me.
I mean, what kind of base model Maserati were you?
Hey, it was just a Maserati Ghibli, right? Like, it was just but still, I want everybody to know that it was a Maserati that was the same price that I bought it at, that Chelsea owes on her car.
If you go to California, they'll like pay you to buy a Tesla because like all the emission stuff, like literally it's like insanely cheap to buy like a really like dope Tesla in Cali because like they're all super anti-emissions and like, battery cars, the new wave. And so it might be a decent arbitrage there, Chris, for the lot.
Plastic straws like illegal in California now?
Yeah, California is weird, man. They're a different breed.
Over there.
And look at Chelsea trying to change the topic. Like, you bought magic beans.
Oh boy.
Right?
I know.
You grow a beanstalk out of that Corolla.
Me and Christopher have literally tried everything. We've had this discussion a few times, and it just gets worse every time.
I've tried, and it's just like, Chelsea, I think you have like $2,000 more this month than you did last month. Like, what was the interest rate? Like 97%? Like, what are we doing?
Seriously.
But what is debt to 39 months of CARES Act checks?
You're right. You know, I may have my car paid off by the end of this year if we're being
Yeah, you're
honest.
getting a paid vacation. It's awesome.
That interest rate, even the government can't pay that interest rate.
Man, can't wait for
Hey,
cruise
man,
lines.
car dealers are crooks. And I want everybody to know that right now. They're all crooks except for me.
But they're
all
really
crooks.
nice, and they sell you things really well.
The famous last words. You can always refinance it.
Literally, that's what they said like 4 times. You always
In case you didn't know, if you get the line, if you go to buy a car, I just want everybody to know this. If you get the line that says you can always refinance it later,
you're paying too much.
You were getting
Too much.
I'm not even going to say what you're getting, but you were getting it. All right. I just want everybody to know that. Don't ever do that. If they say that, just leave. All right. Back to Corona, not the drink. So every death right now. Okay, so not every death. I think that's obviously an exaggeration. But anybody that's dying, that even if they were
like
terminally scheduled ill today, right, terminally ill, right, for one reason or another, and we're in the hospital, obviously they're going to contract Corona because their immune system is shot, right? Like they're terminally ill. That's what happens, right? And so they're attracting Corona, and they're being counted as a Corona death, which is skewing Corona numbers. And I am appalled personally.
That's the opposite of what they're doing in China, where no death is a Corona death and every death is a pneumonia death. So I guess it's just two sides of the same coin, really.
I don't know. I'm just like really, you know, like we know that they were terminal, or we know that they had some other effect, but
well, it's like
we're all about the pushing the numbers, right? It's all about pushing the number up, right? It's all about.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up.
God,
I respect that reference.
Rob
yes,
was
me too. That was good.
Rob was probably in the meeting, sitting there, and he was like half drunk, and he was like, "Nah, just count them all as Corona deaths. Nobody's gonna know."
Literally,
until somebody comes on Facebook and the video goes viral, and then everybody finds out. You know, because
it's kind of like.
Only way anybody finds out news is by a viral Facebook video, because that's how this happened. Everybody knows that.
But what is the incentive to lie about it? Like, I'm just curious. I'm not saying that
make it look worse than it is.
Make it look a little worse.
They want to make it look worse, and that we still need to stay inside.
What does the government get out of that?
Only the government does. I think the media does.
Yeah.
The media gets a lot.
Oh, so it's the media misreporting numbers, not the government.
Yeah.
I totally believe that, because, you know, bad news sells.
Bad news sells.
Right. It's, to my knowledge, it's like the media going direct to, I guess, the doctors themselves, right? Not them going to the government and getting the government.
Okay, see, because you didn't have me when you said that it was the government line, because there's no incentive for them to do that. But the media totally makes sense. CNN has a freaking kill counter like it's a Call of Duty game up on the right side of their screen. Literally the entire day.
Oh my gosh! It's like CNN has like
it's true.
The kill count and the number of like how many of those
it's like a leaderboard, dude. It's terrible.
Oh my gosh!
It's awful. They shouldn't be doing that.
Did you tune into CNN and you were appalled, or what?
Yeah, literally, I was just scrolling through channels and it's like they have like a live feed.
Hold on.
It's insane.
Do they have like webcams?
It's just like counting
that are about to pass.
Dude, it's literally it. I wish I was joking. It's the truth.
Oh my gosh!
Looks like a video game.
You got somebody with one of those counters just clicking it like as people.
Let's check tape. I'll edit it in. I'll slice it in this video. You'll see.
I need to see that. You have to put it, because I cannot believe that that's real.
Died in a car wreck.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, he coughed after wrecked, so.
Well, if you had supposedly if you have coronavirus and you let's say die in a car accident, you are being ruled as a death of the coronavirus. Like if you had a coronavirus and you were shot, then you died of the coronavirus. Like those numbers. Like that's what we're trying to say.
Yeah. Okay, so I was out and about today, and I stopped at the gas station on my way home, and I sneezed. And guys, when I tell you that I felt like I was shunned out of the room so fast.
It's not even a symptom.
I was shunned. I was shunned out of that room faster than I was shunned out of San Francisco by the 49ers. All right, like quick. It was like Wild Rice. Bam! It was like they were like everyone was like, I'm so sorry. Like,
Christopher got kicked out of Whole Foods for not having a mask on.
Oh, I did get kicked out of Whole Foods.
Really?
Yeah, I tried to go in. So I'm not a big Whole Foods guy, but I needed some food, and they have this granola that I really like. And so I was going to go in and just grab some. And when I tried to go in, they stopped me at the door, and they were like, no. And I was like, what? They're like, you got to have a mask. I was like, why? What? And he was like, for safety.
There you go, Chris.
I'm not a bacterial doctor or like an immunologist, but I'm also pretty familiar with how really, really microscopic organisms fly through the air, and I'm almost positive that most of these masks are just for show.
Well, he
is a doctor. He's a doctor. I'm just saying.
I'm a doctor of something. Not any of this.
Guys, I'm currently taking medical microbiology in college right now, and it literally says that filtration is the worst form of sterilization because viruses can get through. That's how small they are. I promise you, I can pull it up. I'll send you a picture of the exact quote in my book.
We have credible sources. There's 2 doctors in here. One full-time doctor, and I just want everyone to know that the masks are stupid. Doctor said so.
She's making more money than I am, so let's start with that. So,
basically,
whatever doctor she is, that kind of doctor. Dr. Welfare Queen, okay?
The government is paying me, and I'm studying my microbiology. I basically work for the CDC, honestly. I'm part of the bureaucracy, so I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, sorry, I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm just going to let everybody know.
So, I mean, maybe, and I'm a skeptic when it comes to do these things even work to protect us? Maybe some of those high-end masks that medical professionals probably wear. But when you watch somebody go into Walmart and they've just taken a tube sock and stuck a couple of elastic bands on it, and I'm like, that can't even stop your foot from stinking up your shoe. And you're going to protect it against a global pandemic? I'm just confused here about, where people get this from.
Yep.
I don't know, because when you see videos of, healthcare workers working, not only do they have the mask, but they have the hazmat suit and the shield on their face, and they have a few layers. So I can only imagine.
To my knowledge, Corona can live on surfaces and stuff for a certain amount of time too.
For 14 days supposedly.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so I mean.
But not in the heat. So that's why you're supposed to take hot showers and wash your hands with hot water. It supposedly can't live in the heat. So
I knew about
it was
the heat
almost
part,
a big joke because Texas was oh, it'll be fine. It's gonna get hot here any second now. And then Texas didn't get hot when it normally gets hot. And everyone was
Texas was nah.
Seriously, they were Texas was April, do your thing, and April was no.
Out of the deal though, Texas did get alcohol delivery. So we did get that, and it's continuing. So.
For good.
So overall, a win for humanity.
Hey, go Texas, right? Ooh.
So, I mean, coronavirus did something, right? I guess.
It also got you paid.
Okay, it did get me paid. And alcohol delivered to my house.
I just want to recap. It got Chelsea paid. It kept us inside, and we all got fat. And it killed – how many people died from car wrecks today? 130 people died from car wrecks. So instead of dying from car wrecks, people just died from Corona instead.
Well, I mean, honestly, we should check the numbers to make
whatever
sure
the real numbers are. Yeah. Squirrel died probably from Corona. We shot him the other day.
Dude, cats can get it now. Cats and dogs. That's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
No, what?
I saw that, and apparently.
Yeah, you didn't see that, Chris?
Yes.
No, I haven't seen it.
Dude, there's cats and dogs that are getting. There's this tiger that got it, dude.
There was a tiger.
How do they know that the animals.
Yeah, I'm wondering, how do they test? Like, does the tiger has a case of the sniffles? Like,
They're wheezing. I don't know.
Can't breathe. Wait, okay. So just to make sure everybody here doesn't have corona, if you can hold your breath for 10 seconds, you don't have corona, right?
all right.
Is this
All right,
like where you're going to put your palm over your face and then you're going to reach through the camera?
I hope you're right here on wherever David puts us. I hope you're like right
here.
I'll set it up.
Yeah, I hope he's right there. So ready? 1, 2, 3. I couldn't do it. I got corona. Dang, I'm in it.
I went in thinking I would just breathe through my nose, and my nose
All
is.
right, that's it.
We all did it, and I realized nobody was counting.
Oh, who was counting?
Oh,
Nobody.
We're just gonna keep holding our breath for the remainder of the podcast.
All right, we're gonna hold our breath and exit out of this. Are you ready? Everybody on 3, hold your breath.
I'll play us
We
out.
got corona. Ready? 1, 2, 3.